I didn't expect to be.
I know you did.
Hey, like nice, very nice of you. I didn't even know it was a thing. Thanks for introducing me to this. I then Googled it. Didn't really find much on the NHS website or anything in the UK about it. I know you guys are a lot more further ahead with mental health, obviously therapy, all that sort of stuff. It's not something that's even really talked about in the UK. We still bury mental health in the sand, and we're only just catching up. I'm 35. I've waited nearly 35, waited 11 years for some sort of counselling. So yeah, that was quite interesting. And like Marcus, I have always used my weirdness as a dickhead barrier. So if people don't like me, that's their fucking issue, not mine. And I've saved myself a massive heartache and a massive load of stress because they've already made that amazing decision for me that I'm not worth their time. So great, off you fuck. That's how I've lived my life. And yeah, it's never really, rejection and stuff has never really bothered me. And I'm waiting an ADHD diagnosis at the moment and stuff like that. Life is life. Yeah, I do believe that you just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, recycle yourself a little bit more, hopefully.
Motherfucker.
Go ahead, Lady Di.
I honestly, with that, I want to blame her upbringing, her parents. If you don't understand that your child has an issue with talking and being quote unquote rejected in the sense of, she's getting cut off, or, there's many different scenarios you could say with that. Parents got to do a better job of paying attention to their kids because it's something that could have helped her with early on. A lot of those things you learn when you're a child. And, when you become an adult, you practice it by yourself and then you got to work on it and make it better. But if no one is correcting you from when you were little, then the issues are going to become so serious to where she's like, oh, let me go die. Like that's very extreme. So that means that she didn't have nobody helping her. And it's sad, honestly. But, we become adults and we have to learn how to do stuff on our own. So then that becomes her, being accountable for her actions. I'm glad she's able to get or notice that she needs help and she's trying to work on it. But I do think it's an insecurity thing as well. I'm not sure if she's diagnosed with something or not. But if she's not diagnosed with something, then it's more just her being insecure. She thinks that she has to be, the center of attention all the time. And you're in a world full of people. That's impossible. Even on the panel. There's no one like that's like me being like, well, it has to be about Lady Di all the time. No, it doesn't. We got so many people here that wants to speak. So that means that she's kind of selfish and she doesn't even know it.
You got anything on you get the chance?
All right, I'll go. If a person has trouble interpreting things like facial expressions, tonality due to autism, that's one thing, and that's understandable because that's part of what autism is. They have a problem interpreting facial expressions and what a person is actually conveying to them. But these damn people are literally trying to parallel themselves to autistic people. And I don't know if y'all seen that. And this is what a lot of dysfunctional people like to do. It's like, for example, if a woman is overweight, right? She'll say, well, some women have thyroids, but that woman doesn't have thyroids. So what does thyroids have to do with this if you don't have thyroids, right? So that's something that a lot of women love to do. They try to parallel somebody else's issue with their issue to make it seem like they may have the same issue. But in their verbiage, you can see that they don't have it because they would just say, I have it, right? So these people aren't autistic. These people are simply using autism as an excuse to be narcissistic. Because the bottom line is, if you don't have an acceptance of another person's freedom to choose and another person's autonomy, you are a narcissist. And the definition of narcissist unofficially is a very unhealthy sense of importance So when you're trying to talk to somebody and they talk over you and you feel like, oh, I want to die, you're a narcissist, ma'am. You don't have autism, because you would have said you had autism. You're a freaking narcissist. So a lot of people love to parallel somebody else's issue with theirs in order to make excuse for being stupid or narcissistic.
Well, she said not. She said autistic or ADHD. Those are the people who carry out these traits of what is it? Rejection, sensitivity.
Those
And
are
with
two
autism, like I have an autistic cousin, and I can see how that can be the case. I can definitely see how that can be the case, because you could just take things in the wrong manner because you don't have the awareness, the people skills. You're very awkward around people. You're very quiet around them. So you may think that if they're talking or whispering, they might be talking about you, just because you are insecure in that way. You can't blend in like everyone else. That, you have an issue with that. ADHD to me is, more of a hyper, person. And I think even with that, um, as far as the rejection sensitivity, I don't know how that correlates with those who have ADHD. I'm not quite sure how that correlates, but when she talked about being autistic, she wasn't autistic. She had ADHD, but she said that there are parallels between the two when it comes to rejection sensitivity.
In order to make an excuse for being ignorant. That's what people do. You say something about a woman's weight, the first thing they're gonna be like, well, some women have thyroids. What the hell that got to do with you? Do you have it or do you not? If you do have it, I'm not talking about you. But if you don't have it, why do you sit here trying to parallel yourself with somebody with an actual health disorder? That's the shit that women do to make excuses to keep doing dumb shit.
If I had to guess, maybe why she was having an issue with ADHD, before she gave her reason, because I don't, like I say, I'm not in this field, so I don't know. But when so I think part of that is your thoughts racing, right? And you not being able to stay consistently on one thing while you're jumping around from thought to thought. You can snowball yourself into a thought process and then jump further and further and further into that hole, possibly of negativity, by thinking like, oh, they're thinking about me. I said something stupid. Oh no, people are judging me. What do they think about? And keep digging and digging and digging, and not have the tools to reframe and pull yourself up out of there. That's just my guess, though. If I was to guess,
That makes sense.